Hello everyone, I'm Platy. Welcome back to our town Rosenburg. With a name that pretty, we need our town to match. Today I'm going to build out the old downtown with a beautiful church asset that I will show you in a second. I also finally downloaded Rico with a lot of beautiful sets of old Dutch and European houses, so we can really make the downtown pop. In the second half of the video we will build out the farming industry to a level 5 and integrating it with the town on the opposite of the highway. I don't want to spoil you, but I am super happy with how it turned out. So let's not waste any time and just jump right in. So I downloaded a bunch of church assets, and some of the churches that I really liked were in the unique buildings tab, and I had to do some things to unlock them. There are a bunch of churches that I really like. The one that I want to use is this one, which is the Church of Saint Ambroise from Paris. I think it is, first of all, pretty big, and I think that it just fits really well in this area because it is a pretty big area, so having a big church fits really well. And I also just think it's beautiful. It has a very dark look to it. I like it. It's gorgeous. So earlier when we built this area, I was talking about how these roads could be points that kind of lead to the central square, and that from these roads you could just have a look at the church like this. So it makes sense to then to kind of angle it in this area, so I will be putting the church right about there. And because it has to go on a road, I will first put the church down here and then just move it, and then we can get a road in front of it when it is oriented in a way that I like. And I think that this is exactly right to me. I want to be working with pedestrian roads here as well, so let's get a pedestrian district. And I'm gonna bump it out just a little bit here so I can put the surface points right there. So now I can go ahead and build pedestrian roads, and I will get the cobblestone. I just think it's appropriate. Right now I am planning out the pedestrian area, and I also want to make sure that I add some sort of nice spark in the very center of it as well. So this is the first street done, and I'm actually very surprised at how easy it was to just pop down these houses. So I'm very pleased with the results. I think this is exactly what I wanted. Just take a look. Imagine strolling down here, and there's this huge church. I'm very happy with this. I'm gonna continue putting in some more buildings and filling up this entire area. So these are all residential houses. I did get some commercial buildings. Let me show you. Somehow the Rico buildings did not spawn as historical buildings, so some of them upgraded and changed their look. I actually didn't mind the one odd red building. Perhaps this building in its place was not fit for standards anymore, and so they plopped down a more modern building. I did swap out the big one though, that was just too beautiful to not use. So here I am going straight in to give the residential houses nice backyards. I edited it out, but I did upgrade the road to a medium size with just one lane before I started making the gardens. We have finished the downtown area, let me show you what we've done. So as you come into the city, there are a couple of shops to your left. And when you continue on, there are these small areas that are little gardens. These are commercial areas. These are all residential. If you go this way, these are all residential as well, and they have little areas to hang out with your neighbors and your families. Same over here. And look at this view. A little playground, some more houses. And I like to think that this is the going out area. There's a lot of tables set outside. So I like to think that everyone would just come in here and have a drink with their friends. It might be morbid that it's just opposite of the cemetery, but I feel like that's just kind of normal in European cities. And then in the back of this commercial area, I ended up putting some flowers as well. I'm really pleased with how the city center turned out. I think it looks very alive. There's so many people just walking around in town. I love the way that the church looks, and I really tried my best to dress everything up with some plants and trees. Rico was super easy to use, and I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Because our population grew a fair bit with all the Rico houses we added, I upgraded the central fire station right here. And you can see we have a lot of demand for industry jobs as well. So let's get into upgrading the farm to a level 5. And as we get to this point, we will also start to integrate the village and the farm a little bit more. In the Netherlands, we have a lot of small family farms who manage the farm by themselves, but they are usually connected to a big dairy company. So they control their own business, but they sell their goods to the bigger company, which ensures quality control, packaging and marketing, etc. So this gave me the idea to actually build some individual houses and add the agricultural plots right behind the house to mimic it kind of looking like their backyard or like this little plot of land that they have, and use this to grow food. So let's give this a try, but first actually let's upgrade the farm to get to level 5. So for level 5, we're actually almost there already. The resources, we're gonna hit that any second now. We just need to make sure that we have more than enough workers. So I'm thinking that we should add maybe another slaughterhouse. So I want to have a look at where the land is most fertile. And you can see that here it's really fertile. Here not as much, but this is too close to the residential area. And here it's very fertile as well. So I'm thinking that we maybe build a road here. And we will sort of trace this area. And then we can delete this road, because I was noticing that this was pretty fertile and we just completely put a road through it. That doesn't make any sense to me. So let's take that back. And I'm going to be adding another slaughterhouse right here. Expand the industry area a bit. And actually we're going to be building all the way over here, so let's just expand it all the way. And we made it to level 5. Nice! So we have the large animal pasture and the large crop and fruit fields right now. I'm super excited about that because we can use these instead of the other small ones, and we can give some houses really like this big plot of land. And I'm super excited to completely revamp the farming area right now. So let's go. I'm adding this windmill right here just to jump the power, and also because it just looks nice. I'm gonna be very careful with adding trees because I don't want the fertile land to go away, but I just simply have to add some trees. It'll just completely make the area look so much nicer. And because I cannot just add a lot of trees because it'll make the land less fertile, I'm adding these flower beds to still make it look a little bit interesting. I think this just looks great. Let's add in more of these houses. I expanded the flower factory area by rearranging them just differently and adding an extra factory. I also added the parking for the employees, and now I'm going to build a little lunch space where everybody can sit and have their lunch and enjoy the weather. So while this area is still fertile land, it is also at the busiest intersection of this entire area. So I am just going to add these alleyways and put the workers' barracks here. So I initially wanted to put the workers' barracks here, but then I realized that it might also be nice to just add a park. So I changed my mind, and let's add a road here and add a park. A dog park, of course. I am absolutely loving the way this area looks. It looks incredibly authentic. I am adding another windmill here. I am super pleased with the way this looks. It feels so much more alive because there's also just more people walking around, and it just looks great. I think that this turned out a lot better than I anticipated and maybe also hoped. But I'm super happy with this. This looks absolutely great. So this is very fertile. Everything here, not really. So I'm thinking that we can add maybe 2 more houses in the fertile lands. Maybe 3 if I feel like pushing it. And then here we will keep all the dirty stuff. Alright, so this is the final result, and I'm looking at the industry overview, and I think it just needs to settle for a little bit as well. We added a lot of new things, a lot of new storage, so I think that we're just gonna let it run for a bit and check in later to see if everything is properly balanced. Let's take a look at what we've done. You're coming in here, to your left is the flower processing area, and then you just go through little workers, barracks, a dog park, the main buildings, some storage, and here are the farmers who are doing very hard work, making sure to provide food for everyone. I think there are 4, 5, 6 houses on this side with some storage here as well. Most of it is farm. These ones, the animal rearing patches, are a little bit loud, so I didn't necessarily add a lot of those in, but these are 6 houses, I believe, that are creating food for the town. A little shopping center with some parking. That being said, I actually should then remove parking on this road. I don't like that the cars are here. You guys should just park in the parking spots. And that looks a lot better. And then you get to the dirty area, and this just looks huge. And this is kind of exactly the feeling that I wanted this area to have. It's just a massive area where there's a lot of pollution. It's not necessarily super clean. And it's all hidden behind this row of trees that I just dotted around the area. This looks great. I think it just looks great. And then onto the other side, integrating a little bit with the village, there are some more animal rearing patches as well as some farming areas. And from this area you can definitely see that there's some industrial stuff going on here, but that seems reasonable to me. I expanded a little bit with some normal houses. These gardens are a little bit bigger than the ones over here. There's some more space so they can have bigger gardens. And then I added this sort of faux park down there. I think this looks absolutely great. I'm very happy with the way that this looks. We are making a very good profit, so I am super happy with that. And I will turn on the improved logistics, and the other ones are not important for now. Or I mean, they are important, but I won't add them for now. We're even having some worker issues. A lot of people do want to live in town, so we can definitely use some more residential area. But before we do that, I want to make sure that this traffic is being sorted. It just seems like a lot of trucks just have to be here. So let's see if we can use a symmetrical road or asymmetrical road. And wait, I'm only now noticing that this roundabout has been set up wrong the entire time. Wait, has it been like this the entire time? Oh my god. Okay, I fixed it. I was so confused. I was like, wait, why can you go left on the roundabout? That's not meant to happen. I think that might actually help the traffic flow a little bit as well. I think that this is a nice area to add some more houses as well. And I'm also thinking that we should add a little church. So let's do that. I added a bunch of churches because I was looking for one that was really appropriate, really looked nice in the old historic center that we built earlier this episode. And I'm thinking something like this might look pretty good. So let's put it next to the cemetery. And we're adding some houses here as well. This is the final result. I am adding some commercial in the back and some trees throughout the area, and we're done. And before we head out, I noticed we were having some traffic issues on the other side of town as well. We only have one highway interchange for 2 villages as well as an industrial area, so I ended up adding a trumpet interchange directly into the industrial area. Once it's done, it ended up getting some good utilization. I wanted to jazz up the interchange, so I added a reservoir pond. I will get a mod so I can put in a water source for the next episode. And this is the final result. As always, thank you for watching all the way through. I am super pleased with the farming area. Do let me know what you think about the farming area in the comments or anything else that you noticed this episode. See you next time!